Hi guys, it's Machaela. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a get ready with me featuring all of my project pan items. I'm going to use as much of these as I can and I just kind of wanted to play around and get some use out of my products, so I figured I'd go ahead and share it with you. Before I get into the video, I do have my skincare on and I have my eyeshadow base on as well as set, and I actually did use my Project Pan powder to set my eyeshadow base. I'm going to start with my primer. That is the Too Faced Do You Glowy Primer. I thought about taking this out of my project just because it is getting old, but it's still performing nicely on the skin. So I figured I'm going to just use it and just try to use it up as quickly as possible. So this is kind of getting like priority use right now in my project and above other primers. So but we'll see how long it lasts. If I need to roll it out early, so be it. I zoomed you in because I am going to do the eyes next. I am going to use my shadow from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I am panning the shade Nooner, so I'm just going to throw that in my crease. From the Nabla Read My Mind palette, I am panning the shade 16, so that's just going to go in my outer corner shade here. I'm keeping the eye look real simple today. I didn't want to go super crazy. I just kind of wanted to do something that I've been kind of doing every day. My everyday style is just a little bit glam, so it might look a little bit more glam than someone's typical everyday look. But it's what I do. It's kind of how I feel good. It's kind of like, this is like doing makeup is kind of like my self-care time. So for some people this would be full glam, but for me it's just an everyday look. I'm not doing a whole lot for what I kind of do for makeup. But then going into the ColourPop and Lizzie McGuire palette, I am panning the shade Outfit Rememberer. I'm just gonna take that on my finger and pop this all over the lid for a nice just kind of pop of sparkle. I have this weird thing that when I do my shimmers and my mascara, for each eye I do a corresponding hand. So for like my right hand, right eye, left eye, left hand. I don't know why I do it that way. I think it has to do with just like keeping, like not having to turn your hand in an awkward direction. So yeah, but that's all I'm going to be doing for the eyes. I will come back to the lower lash line in just a minute. Alright, onto the face. I will be using my Hourglass Vanish concealer. And I'm just going to pop that like just right on the inner corners, and then just kind of up here I'm going to use it to sculpt the eyeshadow a little bit. And then I have some red spots on my nose here, and then if I feel like I want to like kind of brighten the T-zone, I can, but I don't always do that. I feel like that's just an extra step for me. And again, this is kind of where I draw the line at every day. You know what, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and dampen my sponge. I'm using the Florence Chill Mist, and I'm gonna let that set down for just a minute. I only let it set for about 30 seconds or so, but then just to get it nice and damp. I don't want it like super damp because I do want to keep some of the coverage, but just enough to help blend the concealer. And I love how that just kind of takes the eye look and just shapes it out a little bit without it being like too sharp of a wing, but it just kind of helps my eye shape. I love this trick. I've been doing it for years. And I'm also just kind of blending it out with my nose, but you really don't need a whole lot. But like that gives such full coverage. And I go back and forth as to whether or not I like full coverage concealers. I feel like some days I need them, some days I really don't. But lately I just feel like I've got like such I have bags under my eyes. I call them my tired mom eyes, just because I don't hardly sleep at night, kind of motherhood. But I'm going to take whatever's left on the sponge and just kind of tap it through the T-zone without trying to get a whole lot of product there. And going in with my pure foundation, and then just a flat foundation brush. I don't have a lot left in here, but I love this for just a quick like swipe on the skin and go. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of starting setting that concealer, but also going down and just going all over the face. I do notice the pan in this is getting significantly thinner. I did have to repress it in like, I think it was November of last year. But This literally only takes 2 seconds to do. If I want a faster application, I'll take an even fluffier brush and just kind of dust it all over. Like, instead of using it more of a foundation, I'll use it more of a powder that way, especially if I'm like in a huge rush. But that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of going through, looking at, I've got my mirror to the side here and making sure it's all even. Back to my eyeshadows, I'm going to take the other end of the brush that comes in the palette and going back in them with that shade Nooner and just dusting that on the lower lash line. I think that's all I'm going to do today. Yeah, I don't really have a lot that I'm going to do. Like I said, this is just kind of a quick look. Now I'll go back into my Liz McGuire palette and just same brush, pop that in my inner corner. And for that Nooner eyeshadow, I'm going to count that as 2 uses, but just the Liz McGuire shadow, because it's still kind of on the lid, I'm only counting it as 1, because I kind of, when I do this shade, I usually just do both, so I count it as 1 use towards my 50 uses. Next, I'm just going to take my Ilia, or not my Ilia, my Il Makiage mascara and put it on the lashes. Probably gonna have to do this off camera. I'm so bad at doing my lashes, like on camera. Alright, lashes are on. I never do the bottom lashes just because I feel like my lashes like to smudge so easily. And plus it just makes my eyes look a little bit more lifted and bigger. Otherwise I feel like too much darkness going on like right there makes my eyes look smaller than I want them to. But sometimes I'm wanting a darker lower lash line, but for the most part I just try to keep it just enough to kind of round out the eye a little bit without trying to put too much right there. So next I'm actually going to do a trick that has been working recently. Oh, I feel like I need to blend some of that. There's something that needs to be blended out, but this trick I actually just started doing about a week ago, and I wish I would have figured this out sooner. And this is not something I would do every day, but I've been enjoying it lately, is taking that shade Nooner and taking a little contour brush and just kind of using that as a contour shade. It's like the perfect like cool tone contour for me. So this will actually count as use number 3. Oh, I think I accidentally got into that bronzer shade. Oh, I think I accidentally dipped into the shade next to it. Oh well, it's gonna get covered up with bronzer anyway. But just using it as like a powder contour. Again, not something I really do for every day, but I wanted to kind of share a new way I've been enjoying using this while I'm here on camera. Just contour my nose, and again, this only takes about like 2 seconds to do. Oh man, I think I got that way too much. Oh well, yeah, I'll work with it. It's nothing that can't be blended out. I'll just use the bronzer to kind of help with that. Cheeks. I am panning my Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer. It's a mini version. This brush is a little bit hard to get in, but I find that if I swirl it around enough, it'll work, and I'm just kind of going right over that contour line. Again, just very kind of sloppy, not trying too hard, but this just gives me enough to just make me feel and look alive. And I've also got my Ulta Mineral Blush, and just another fluffy brush. It's like I don't even know where or when I got this brush, but this is like the best blush brush. But just gonna dip that in and pat that all over my cheeks. I love how this blush is like so muted, so versatile. It makes such an everyday blush. I can wear it with like pink looks or more peachy tones. It's kind of nice. And then I thought I was done with my eyeshadows, but I forgot that I wanted to do one more thing, and I'm actually going to use my Outfit Remember eyeshadow as a highlighter. I kind of got to go in with a very light hand, but I'm just going to take my fluffy brush, tap it in, tap off the excess really well, and just pop that on the cheeks. Just ever so lightly, just enough to get the sparkle on. Oh, I think I got too much on my nose again. See, that's kind of the hard part with using eyeshadows as like other products, because you gotta go in with like a very light hand. But that's it. The only thing now I'm gonna do is I've got this Coat Sauce wet lip oil. This was actually for a birthday gift, the brow gel and the wet lip oil. So I'm just gonna pop this on my lips just to add a tint of color. And then I'm gonna spray my face with the Benefit Porefessional Super Setter. This is actually a repurchase that my husband didn't know it was my favorite, but he walked into Ulta one day trying to get me stocking stuffers for Christmas, grabbed this one, not realizing it was my favorite, but I would have repurchased this anyway. And then just letting that set into my face. So here's the final look. It only took me about 10 minutes to do. This video might be a little bit longer than 10 minutes due to talking. But I will go ahead and tally everything I used on my notepad where I have everything written out. But if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle. And my goal on this platform is to share my love for beauty as well as my love for Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. If that's what you're into, hit that subscribe button. But if not, but you still want to stick around, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.